Why are we here? Because of my demographic. In 1787, when this country had the U.S. Constitution signed, it was designed to benefit one demographic, one very narrow, specific demographic. It was designed to benefit 21-year-old landowning white men. And the people that made that Constitution, a chunk of them, owned black people. They owned human beings. And this country refuses to say what they were. Oh, they weren't perfect, but, they still brought the country. No. They were racists. Say it like it is. They owned human beings. That's despicable. And they took it a step further. They said that black people weren't even worth the same as a white person. They're only worth 3/5 of a person. So what? So white people were made in the image of God and black people were made in the shadow of God? That's such a great Christian nation. So godly, so Christ-like. Oh, and it gets better. Women didn't have the right to vote. Couldn't have no-fault divorce. They couldn't even have credit. They were servants to their husbands until the 1920s. 150 years or so after the Constitution was signed. Wow, so equal. And during those years, not until the 1960s did black people even have the right to vote. Wow, that was so nice of white people to finally let black people vote. Wow. Great job, America. That's so kind of you. And how were they treated during that time? Slavery, Jim Crow laws, segregation. In the white version of America, this was a great country. But black people couldn't even drink from the same damn water fountain. Couldn't sit in a church. Couldn't sit on the same bus. Couldn't eat in the same restaurant. Couldn't go to the same school. But this was a Christian nation. When? You're going to tell me this Christian nation wouldn't let black people sit in the same church as a white person? What in the hell is wrong with you people? This is why we're here as a country. Because part of this country, after seeing Barack Obama sitting behind the Resolute desk, instead of picking their cotton, they said, no, we good. And they went back to what they know. 1776 or 1787 America. They said, we're going to go with the plantation order again. That's exactly why we're here. They will accept the dumbest, least educated, most unqualified, convicted felon who sexually abuses women, who makes fun of Gold Star families, who insults disabled people, who has dinner with white nationalists, who talks about Hannibal Lecter as if he was a god, over the most qualified black woman in the history of this country. Because you didn't like her laugh. That's what America is. And this country doesn't want to admit that we're not the greatest country in the world. I would argue we're not the greatest country in North America. See, you look at the flag as a symbol of freedom for people that look like me. But what you don't do is you never put yourself in somebody else's damn shoes. Just maybe. To that black person, maybe that means oppression or slavery or Jim Crow. Maybe to some women, it was about oppression, being forced to stay in a marriage that was abusive because you forced them to essentially be servants to their husbands with no rights. Maybe to Asian Americans, they had family that were in internment camps, and that's a symbol of oppression. And what we've done as a society is, since we were little, we have indoctrinated a lot of our population to worship the flag as if it was a religion. Since you're in diapers, you have an American flag diaper. You wake up and you eat your Freedom Wheaties, and before breakfast, you do the Pledge of Allegiance. And then before running out the door to work, you feed your pet bald eagle. And then you go to work with your 58,000 American flags on your truck and the 1776 Constitution spray painted on there. You know, the one that said that black people were only worth 3/5 of a person and only one narrow demographic had rights. And part of this country doesn't want to acknowledge it because enough people that look like me haven't spoken out. This country could only be great if more people that look like me speak out and make these kind of videos. Because we're the ones that caused it. Imagine a house, okay? Build a brand new house and a tenant moves in. Everything's great, and then you start to notice cracks in the ceilings, the walls, the foundation. You bring in an expert and they say, yep, your foundation's not good. Is it up to the homeowner to fix the foundation? Or is it up to the person that built the foundation to fix it? So for all of people in my demographic, that's the 92%. They're the homeowner. They didn't make this mess. It's not their damn job to clean it up. It's ours. Because we created this busted foundation that only benefited our demographic since the history of this country, and we've never truly addressed it. That's why they went back to the plantation owner, because it's what they know and it's what they're comfortable with. You have a good day.